On September 12th, Eva Schicke, a 5-season California Department of Forestry firefighter, is 1 month away from her 24th birthday. This is her 2nd season on the agency's Columbia Helitack crew. 2 years ago, Eva graduated from California State University at Stanislaus, where, on a sports scholarship, she starred in basketball. She plays the flute and guitar and is known for her beautiful singing voice. Eva is also well respected for her wildland firefighting skills. Quick-witted with a good sense of humor, during her crew's downtime, she's known for trying to sucker her crewmates into quick games of basketball or volleyball. Now engaged to be married, Eva has decided that her wildland firefighting commitment and work hours will take her away from being a wife and eventually mother. 2 weeks ago, she enrolls in the School of Nursing at Modesto Community College. She wants to be a flight nurse. But on this day, her crew is called for initial attack on the Tuolumne Fire on California's Stanislaus National Forest. Eva Schicke will never come home again. She is the first California Department of Forestry, CAL FIRE, woman employee to perish on the fire lines. Her battalion chief speaks at her funeral. Eva thrived in our world. She loved the challenge of fighting fires and the camaraderie she found in the station and the airbase. She always kept up good spirits when we were working long hours, dirty and hot. She kept smiling. Eva's pathology autopsy report confirms inhalation of products of combustion. Time frame, seconds. Why did Eva die? What actions and decisions led to her being overrun by fire? To honor the memory of this young woman, it's time that we all heed and remember the factors that contributed to her death. We owe it to Eva and to ourselves to learn everything we can from this fire and its suppression tactics that tragically combined to take this young woman's life. It's another hot 90-degree September afternoon. Relative humidity is 18 to 24%. This brand new fire, reported 1 hour ago, is now 10 acres. It is spreading upslope on 3 to 5 mile per hour steady up-canyon winds. Located in a steep major river drainage, the fire started down beside the river. It has already crossed a dirt road that parallels the waterway, 260 feet above it. The fire is spreading on up the ridge. It is burning in light, flashy surface fuels, mostly oak leaf litter, light grass, and mixed brush, with an oak and pine overstory. All vegetation is September dry. Live fuel moistures are at a critical stage. 1:05 p.m. The Columbia Helitack 404 crew, 1 captain and 6 firefighters, are the first ground resources on the fire. An engine crew is en route. The Helitack firefighters are dropped onto a gravel bar 3/4 mile downstream from the fire. They walk from this landing zone upriver and on up to the road. 1:15 p.m. They meet with the incident commander on the road near the fire's south flank. The Helitack captain is instructed to size up the fire's south flank and find a place to take action. After scouting the area, the Helitack captain identifies a location for downhill line construction. The decision is made to anchor hand line from the road down to the river. 1:35 p.m. The Helitack captain and crew members agree to punch indirect fire line from the road to rocks located just above the river, 180 feet down this steep hillside. The fire here below the road, pushed by the steady, light, up-canyon wind, is backing slowly across the slope. Surface flame lengths are from 6 to 12 inches. Crew members notice that this surface fire is burning beneath the brush without igniting the top aerial portions of this vegetation. The Helitack crew's captain identifies escape routes and safety zones to all crew members, up to the road or down to the river. He thinks that by going indirect, they can avoid the heat and smoke and take advantage of sparse fuel and natural barriers. He believes that building this scratch line from the road down to the river should be simple and quick. All of the surviving Helitack crew members will later say that they understood their assignment, they had the opportunity to comment and raise concerns, they had the ability to refuse the assignment if they thought it was unsafe. No one raises any concerns. Would you have raised a concern?
Hey, it's only 260 feet down to the river. Sure, it's downhill, indirect fire line, but it's just a small piece of ground. We'll be heads up, we'll be safe, we'll be okay. Shouldn't be a problem.
Chances are good we all might have agreed. We all might have accepted this quick line-building assignment. That's why, now, we all need to pay attention to everything we can learn from what is about to occur. 1:38 p.m. A sawyer and swamper dive off the road, followed by the others. Eva is the third line digger. Starting at the road, they also begin firing out the unburned fuels. Before we continue on with what happened that day, let's take a quick look at some extremely important lessons learned that have already surfaced. If you are ever told to build indirect downhill fire line in similar fuel, weather, and topographical conditions, you have every right to question such tactics. As highlighted in your yellow Fireline Pocket Guide, IRPG, downhill line construction should not be attempted unless there is no tactical alternative. Even though your fire is currently burning with low intensity, you must base your suppression tactics on predicted and anticipated, or even worst-case, fire behavior. Such a determination is based on a combination of fuel, weather, and topography. Green vegetation can be mistaken for posing a reduced risk of ignition. You must therefore remember that, under certain conditions, live green vegetation can support and even promote high-intensity, fast-spreading fire behavior. As pointed out in your yellow Fireline Pocket Guide, IRPG, when you are involved in downhill line construction with active fire below you, your supervisor should always be in contact with a lookout who can see the fire. You must also always be aware of your surrounding available resources. The incident command on the Tuolumne Fire knew that an engine was en route, but this information was never relayed to Eva's initial attack crew. If you are told to build downhill line with active fire, open flame below you, and you know that an engine is en route, you could suggest waiting for that engine. Water and a hose lay could allow you to knock down the flame and heat, establish black, and go much more safely direct. That helicopter, now making water drops much farther up the slope, could also help make this downhill line construction assignment safer for you. You have every right to suggest that those bucket drops temporarily divert to help your downhill line assignment. That's right. If the fire's command is too busy to think ahead for you, you can and should help them be the eyes and ears for everyone's safety. (1:40 p.m.) Firefighter Schicke is improving the scratch line 35 feet below the road. Approximately 30 feet of unburned fuel stretches between her and the active fire and flame. 2 of her crew members are above her on the fire line, the rest are below her. That's when the sudden wind shift and blow-up slams their hillside. The next 30 seconds will change so many lives forever. People shout. Everyone runs. With fire exploding toward them, Eva and the 2 firefighters above her scramble up the line toward the road. Below them, the blow-up chases the other 4 firefighters downhill to the river. The crew member in front of Eva barely makes it up to the road. Eva herself is only 5 feet down off the bank behind him. But the barrage of flame overruns her. In seconds, that blast of superheated air takes her life and knocks her back down the steep hillside into the fire. 2 of Eva's crewmates receive second-degree burns on their faces and wrist. 1 firefighter is also treated for smoke inhalation. This fatal wind shift and burnover lasts only 30 seconds. After 2 quick minutes, the entire wind event is over, and the young firefighter is dead. If you are building indirect downhill fire line, you must ensure that the unburned fuel between you and the fire provides you an adequate and reliable margin of safety. If this margin of safety is questionable, discuss using another suppression tactic. At the same time, your escape route must always take into account how difficult it is to travel quickly. You must also consider your escape route's distance to safety, balanced with the potential rate of fire spread and intensity. Steep, rugged slopes and dry fuels intensify this life-saving equation. Remember, retreating uphill, you cannot outrun a fast-moving fire. At Eva's funeral, her mother clutches her daughter's Helitack flight helmet. For this final tribute to their friend and crewmate, firefighters refashion the engine on which Eva once worked. They remove the hose bed and make a cradle for her casket. More than 350 vehicles follow her from the funeral home to the county fairgrounds that will fill with 4,000 mourners and firefighters. As Eva passes along this 20-mile route, residents stand in silent vigil. Eva was ambitious and friendly, a family friend says. She was determined to be the best at whatever she wanted to do. After her ceremony, the same helicopter that took Eva to her final fire, her crew's Columbia Helicopter 404, flies her to her final resting place. Eva Schicke is gone. She will never fight another fire. But for her sake, on all of your future fires, you can remember to 1. Speak up. Always speak up if something doesn't seem right. 2. Base all actions on anticipated and potential, or even worst-case, fire behavior. 3. Don't underestimate green fuels, especially when the relative humidity drops below 25%. 4. Make sure that you have an appropriate lookout. 5. Keep an appropriate distance, margin of safety, between your fire line and the fire that will allow the time to escape if blow-up hits. 6. Can your escape plan really save you? Ensure that you are close enough to your safety zone based on worst-case potential fire spread to allow your escape plan to work.